We took it on as an adventure, something that we thought we'd never have a chance to do again.
When Jennifer Young and Rick Dwyer were married, they decided to leave New York for the other side of the world. Now, instead of high rents and in-laws, they're coping with a difficult language and the communist government. They've learned one of their most valuable friends is the local butcher. Jennifer and Rick are part of a select group of Americans living and working in the Soviet Union.
It meant basically giving up our life as it was before and starting from scratch.
Да, слушаю.
Jennifer first came to Moscow to renegotiate air service to the Soviet Union for Pan Am Airlines. When she succeeded, she was asked to come back to run the operation. She welcomed it as a career challenge and a chance to put her Russian studies to work.
At first, it seemed like a devastating kind of decision because for me it was, of course, very, very exciting, but Rick would have to leave his job to come over, and it was not an easy decision.
I thought it would be the adventure of a lifetime and not something to pass up because it wouldn't happen again.
Rick did quit his job and has taken up writing science fiction. Today, home is a concrete apartment building which also houses other foreigners and their families in Moscow. Inside, you're surprised to find a comfortable apartment, luxurious by Soviet standards, best-selling books, TV, stereo, VCR, even a collection of movies for those long winter weekends. This could be anywhere in the world, until you step out onto the balcony and see the Millie Man, the militiaman at the entrance. Who can come here and who can't?
Really, anyone can visit us that we invite. If we invite Soviet guests who are friends or business colleagues, they need to have an invitation which has been submitted to their employer.
What if an uninvited Soviet citizen tries to come here?
Well, they would probably be questioned to identify who they are and who they were visiting, but they wouldn't be prevented.
How private is their life here? Rick and Jennifer were uncomfortable discussing it on camera, but let's just say this apartment comes with listening devices. Their biggest problem? The food selection, or absence of one. If you can't bribe the local butcher, for example, into selling you the best cuts, there's only one alternative. Fly or drive to another country with 2 empty suitcases for groceries. Not that tough when you work for an airline.
Additional freezer storage space.
Oh, this is... All right, what have you got in the freezer?
Some chickens from Hungary and vegetables from Copenhagen. These are from Poland, vegetables from Poland.
What's the #1 thing on a smart American's list of things to stock?
The most important thing to buy is toilet paper.
You can watch videos and play records and import your food, but sooner or later, you've got to go out there and deal with Soviet life. Consider the everyday things, such as driving. Have you ever been pulled over by a traffic cop?
A couple of times.
Well, what was that like?
One time I got fined because I was going a couple kilometers over the speed limit. And the other time they were just checking where I was going.
And there are a few added inconveniences, such as driving to Helsinki for a tune-up, or trying to keep your windshield wipers from being stolen, or driving at night with headlights. It's illegal in the city. Minor concerns, however, when compared with the simple things in life. Imagine going through a day without an English newspaper, or Chinese takeout, or a 7-Eleven on the corner.
It's a little hard to explain, but what I miss is the stimulation, visual and sound and smells and color that you get in a Western city.
Life in the Soviet Union can be a life of exile for Americans. The foreign community here is small and tends to socialize only with each other. So why do they stay? The experience of living among Soviets, shopping where they do, eating what they grow, speaking to them in their own language. This is what gives Jennifer and Rick a special perspective on this fascinating country. And this is what keeps them here.
I think once you get below the politics of the two governments, the average person on the street has the same concerns about war and a better standard of living that everyone in the world does. And it's not that much different, and they're as curious about us as we are about them.
Rich and Jennifer indicated that they were being a little bit cautious about what they said, and that